Clara and Maria had planned to explore a different way of thinking about food and wine journeys through Chile. So we've put together some of the ideas they had prepared for the session. When travelers begin planning a wine journey through Chile, they often start with the wineries they want to visit. But across South America, that's usually not where the conversation begins. Instead, the first question is, what do you want to experience? Over the next few minutes, we'll walk through how Clara and Maria think about planning a Chile wine trip. Not just which valleys to choose, but how to balance wine with everything else that makes Chile extraordinary. One of the things Clara and Maria have learned after years of designing these trips is that the best wine journeys were never really about wine. They're about everything that happens around it. Across South America, the goal is to balance incredible food, beautiful landscapes, boutique wineries, outdoor adventures, thoughtful hotels, and, just as importantly, time to simply enjoy each place. Wine matters, but balance matters even more. When travelers focus only on tastings, they miss the view from the hills, the long lunch overlooking the valley, the afternoon ride through the vines. That balance is what turns a good trip into an unforgettable one. Here's a question to think about as you watch. What does an ideal wine day actually look like? Some travelers want wineries all day, deep dives into terroir, barrel rooms, and vertical tastings. Others want wine plus everything else, a morning tasting, a long lunch, maybe a bike ride through the vines or a walk along the coast. There's no wrong answer. The point, as Clara and Maria see it, is to design the day around what travelers genuinely enjoy, not around what a brochure says they should do. So what makes Chile different from Napa or Mendoza? In a word, diversity. One of the things that makes Chile so interesting is that it's squeezed between the Andes and the Pacific, which creates very different microclimates over relatively short distances. Travelers can experience cool climate Casablanca, known for Sauvignon Blanc and Chardonnay, and then drive a few hours south to warmer Colchagua, famous for Cabernet and Carmenere. Each valley has its own personality, its own landscape, its own food culture. In Chile, wine country is part of the journey, not necessarily the whole journey. Which brings us to the next question. Which wine region is actually right for a given traveler? Casablanca is cooler, closer to the coast, and easy to reach from Santiago. Perfect for those who love crisp whites and want to combine wine with a coastal afternoon. Colchagua is warmer, with beautiful estates and that classic wine country feel. Ideal for travelers drawn to reds who want to settle into the valley for a couple of days. The right choice depends on wine interests, route, and desired pace. As Clara and Maria often say, there isn't one best wine region. There's the right one for the traveler. Now, how many wineries are actually worth visiting? Clara and Maria's answer usually surprises people. 2 per day is enough. The temptation is to pack in 3 or 4 tastings, but by the 3rd winery, everything starts to blur together. Instead, they recommend choosing contrasting experiences. A small boutique producer in the morning, a grand historic estate in the afternoon. Add a great lunch, some scenery, or an outdoor activity to break up the day. More wineries doesn't necessarily mean a better wine experience. It often means the opposite. A common dilemma travelers face. Should they stay in Santiago or out in wine country? Santiago works best for those who want culture, restaurants, and city life. It's a vibrant, walkable city with an extraordinary food scene. Wine country stays are about something different: scenery, relaxation, and immersion. When the hotel and the setting are part of the experience, when travelers want to wake up among the vines, have breakfast overlooking the valley, and let the day unfold slowly, that's when wine country makes sense. Both can work. It depends on what kind of trip is being designed. How many days does Chile really need? For Santiago plus wine country, travelers can build something beautiful in about 3 or 4 nights. That gives enough time to settle in, taste without rushing, and enjoy the meals and landscapes in between. But for those who want to add Atacama, Patagonia, or the lakes, and they should, each of those is a journey in itself, worth several nights. The across approach is to use Santiago and wine country as a softer beginning or ending to the wilderness. Chile is long. Good itinerary design is about choosing, not collecting destinations. One of the most common questions Clara and Maria hear: how do travelers combine wine country with Patagonia or Atacama? The key is contrast. Start with food and wine, then move into dramatic wilderness, or do it in reverse. Either way, keep flights and transitions logical so travel days don't dominate. And give each region enough time to feel distinct rather than rushed. Nobody wants to arrive in Patagonia still thinking about yesterday's tasting. The best combinations create contrast without making the journey feel fragmented. How does Across South America create a journey that never feels repetitive? By changing the rhythm. City, wine, nature, adventure, relaxation. Each day should feel different from the one before. Clara and Maria advise avoiding repeated, similar wineries, similar hikes, or similar hotel experiences. If there's been a grand estate tasting on Tuesday, they'll suggest a small organic producer on Wednesday. If travelers have been in the valley for 2 days, it's time to head to the coast. They design around the traveler's interests, not around how many places can be fit in. That's what keeps a journey feeling fresh from start to finish. Before wrapping up, here are a few questions to think about as travelers start planning. Which valley makes the most sense for first-time visitors to Chile? Should they stay in Santiago or head straight to wine country? And how do they combine Chile's regions without rushing the experience? There are no universal answers, but these are the questions worth sitting with before booking anything. The best Chile journey is not the one with the most wineries. It is the one with the right balance of wine, food, landscape, and time. That's the idea Clara and Maria keep coming back to. And it's the one they hope travelers will carry into their own planning. Thank you.